Hello, welcome everybody. Today is the day we have the first puzzle competition results coming up today. Hope you're excited. I sure am. I'm really looking forward to these. I can already tell you it will get insane. It's gonna be really fun. I am very excited to showcase to you guys. But yeah, puzzle competition. If you do not know how it works, I can quickly show you how it looks like. If we switch here to the scene, this is the puzzle mode. I have built a track in the puzzle editor basically, where you try to build an unfinished map. This is the map right here. We have one start block, then we have 4 checkpoints in the corners, we have 1 platform checkpoint, 1 diagonal checkpoint, 1 plastic checkpoint that is 1 block higher, and a wood checkpoint. So you have to go from the start, grab the checkpoints in the 4 corners, and then go back into the middle and finish. That is the idea of the track. For that, obviously you can't finish it like this. I gave you blocks right here. You had 1 ramp block on wood, 2 wood turns right here that you could use, that you can also block mix. All of these blocks you can block mix into the track like this as well. You have a sausage block, a massive sausage block we can use for a lot of different use cases. Then we also have the ramps that change from one height to another. As you can see here, it changes from wood height to platform height. We have 3 of those, then 1 big plastic wall ride, which is pretty interesting, I can tell you already. 1 booster, of course, to get up to speed. 3 quarter pipes that can also be used as normal platforms, and 1 big quarter pipe wall ride block. Yeah, those are the blocks that were available for the puzzle that you had to use to come up with the best route. You started on Friday, a bit over a week ago, and I gave you 1 week to come up with your best solutions. And today is finally the day where we showcase who had the best times and who won. We're starting, of course, from the bottom up, and let's see what we're starting with. Loading into the first replay. First place, the last place rather, in this case, is going to be our fellow moderator. It is David. David clocking in the slowest time out of everybody with a 56-second time, 56 seconds. But he did something special. He didn't actually try to solve the puzzle. He just tried to solve it with just 1 single block. That is what he did. He just placed down 1 block and tried to finish it. So he's going to the left here, over the wall ride to go straight to the wood. And now what he does, he's just taking speed basically, and then jumping into all of the other blocks, like this. Gets the first one, then goes for this one with the ramp that he plays, and takes 1 more time speed to jump into the plastic on the left. Just like that, and then 1 last jump remaining right here. There's a small booster there as well to get up to speed into the finish. Clocks in at 56 seconds. The first one. Also, thanks for the gift. It's up to Shorty as well. Appreciate it. The next one that we have is surprisingly only 6 seconds faster than David. And it is Mumudidi, who had the exact same idea, who also just finished the map with 1 block, just ignoring everything else about the puzzle, just trying to finish with 1 block instead. So he clocked in with 50 seconds, 6 seconds faster than David. I think mostly because he did not go for standing respawns. He placed 1 big wood ramp to use as for the jump, which definitely made things, I think, a little bit easier. And then at the end, jumping into the wood, and then 1 more time going to the left. I'm a little bit annoyed that even in this version, where you had nothing placed, even in this version, you ignored this right here. I placed this booster so you could go like this into the finish. But both of you ignored it, and I'm a little bit annoyed by that. Everybody ignored it, I gotta be honest. Nobody. I thought this would be like really helpful so that people could finish from here. Not a single person used it. Not a single person. Very, very useful, clearly. Alright, those were the first two. Fighting out with just one block. The next one, though, is very, very special. And it is Doomy. With a 33-second time. Now, you might not think a 33-second time is that impressive. Well, take a look. This is Doomy's route. He managed to finish the track with press forward. It's a full press forward the entire way. 33 seconds he managed to complete it. Which was, I think, actually pretty difficult with the limited block sets, and especially because he has to constantly turn. I think it's actually really impressive. Especially impressive is this ending here. He's turtling, unturtled, now small bounce there, and he reuses the start into the finish. Like the start right here. He is bouncing against the plastic at the start, booster bounce against the start, goes to the left, and then he reuses the block at the very end, like this, to climb into the finish. Actually, really impressive. But yeah, that's very cool. Can you watch again? Of course we can watch again. So starting, plastic bounce to the left, hits the corner of the booster to turn himself to the left, then goes in here. Interestingly, wood normally doesn't have walls like this, right? But it has walls below, which is actually really, really interesting to use. So managing to finish it like that, to turn himself to the side, actually works really well. This was Doomy. This one was by Doomy. Then jumping in here, wallward of course very useful to turn, and also here using the sausage, most useful block out of all of them of course. Going to the left, and then another wallet here. Landings also like this can turn you a lot. Probably this was very hard to find a way to turn in this, because like constantly turning, like this is just a circle, this map. But yeah, there you go. That is third time that we looked at by Beowulf. Right there. And yo, that's Marius with a raid, and the raid message works. Let's go. Thank you very much, Marius. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Just in time. Coming in. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Also, SMB gifting a sub to Doomy as well. Let's go. But welcome, everybody. We're doing the puzzle resets right now. We just looked at the first three. The next one, sadly not quite enough for the win, but it was definitely close, is a Beowulf, who also kind of decided to ignore the challenge, and he just drove the entire map backwards. Clocking in at 28.9 seconds, he just drove backwards all the way to finish the track. Just drives backwards instead. Almost missed the turn. It still makes it, yeah, okay. Now into this road checkpoint right here, managed to get the jump. Now lots of speed from the booster. Going through the triangle, just threading the needle through there, and now into the finish and makes it. Incredible. Is this the fastest backward solution? Yes. But it was also the only backward solution, to be fair. But there you go. That is Beowulf for the next position. Now we're starting to get to the more proper solutions. Next one is Robofish, and this is an insane 11 seconds improvement on the previous one, going down to 17.9 seconds. So this is more what you would build if you would just try to complete the map. So starting off, going to the left, drift into the wood checkpoint, now has to gain height, does it with the ramp, lands into the checkpoint, drives across on the platform, and now drive up to the checkpoint at the end with the plastic and over the sausage into the finish. So this is what you would... like, it actually looks pretty decent already, right here. It is a 17.9 seconds time. It is 3 seconds behind the author time that I said, but it's actually pretty decent. It doesn't look that bad. Try coming up with some creative solutions here as well. You can see now the block usages. So taking a booster at the start, using the wood platforms on the same height as the wood checkpoint, of course, makes sense. Then using these quarter pipe blocks and also these ramps for a normal platform. And then putting the sausage into the plastic checkpoint, so you didn't have to bother with the plastic, can just drive to the finish like that. There you go, that is a 17.9 for Robofish. I think it was also maybe the first submission sent in total. Well, next one though, we are going yet another 2 seconds faster immediately to a 15.8. 15.8, the next one is Eric's. Eric's with the next one, and is quite a bit faster, 15.8 seconds. Goes for the plastic checkpoint first, wants to get the hardest one out of the way, lands on wood to turn here, get a little bit more speed. Now makes the jump across here and uses the ramp to jump into the finish. I placed the ramp there to help you guys to get into the finish, and he uses this right here. So yeah, at the start here, as you can see, first of all, drive up, get into the plastic checkpoint from the side, it then uses the booster right here, drive along, then onto the wood, keeps the speed with this kind of landing because wood obviously has basically infinite grip, goes across this gap here. There's a sizable gap here of obviously 2 blocks in between, and then just into the finish, uses blocks here as well to connect, and clocking in at a 15.8. Not quite enough yet to beat the author time, but a decent effort. Next one though is also yet another 1 second faster. We're going to Wuyu's solution, and it is a 14.8. Now he will go turn around at the start here to go as quickly as possible to the wood checkpoint. Now goes across here, uses the booster now, and now interestingly uses the ramp to jump into the last checkpoint and drive to the finish. This is actually looking pretty good already, right? He turns around, gets to the first wood checkpoint here. Now uses the booster a little bit late. One thing you will see in most solutions is that you want to use the booster very early. But honestly, this jump right here with the wood ramp into the checkpoint is pretty good. The plastic checkpoint is one of the hardest ones to figure out if you're doing this order, because you need to gain height, but also you need to be able to turn like this. If you take it as the finish, you need to do a massive turn here. And that is very difficult. Quite a few people have tried this route, and it's one of the hardest parts. But yeah, gets this jump right here and then finishes from behind. A 14.8, mostly losing out because of the slow start where he just turned around and it took him a little bit of time until he got up to speed. Now going to the next one. It is the first one that beats the author time. It is Awesome Tom with a 14.3. Now he goes again for a different route. He goes to the right checkpoint first, to the diagonal checkpoint first, jumps in, bug slide landing, now gets the booster, goes onto the wood, keeps speed, jump, and now actually really creative plastic bounce, roof it into bug slide finish. First one to beat the author time. And that is already where we are right now. Already really, really sick. You can see at the start, here's a little bit slower at the start. The problem with this right diagonal checkpoint that people have to figure out is it has a border. It is a road checkpoint, so you can't just drive into it. It has this border that you have to overcome first. And Awesome Tom's solution here was to make this ramp jump into a bug slide onto the sausage, which does lose him a little bit of time. He reaches the checkpoint only at 5.1 seconds, so it takes him a little bit of time to get up to speed. But then once he gets up to speed here with the booster, goes really fast onto the wood, and then a really nice plastic bounce roof hit backslide. Really, really cool. But yeah, that is the thread here. Already getting ideas from this. Yeah, this is really, really interesting. That is a 14.3 though. Next one that we have is yet another 3/10 faster. It is a 14.02 by Swapik. A 14.02. He is instead going to the left, into the plastic checkpoint again, as well as we saw earlier. Once jumping down onto the wood, keeps a little bit more speed, and then drift into the finish, just like that. And Yo-Yo-Yano also, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, welcome everybody. We are doing the puzzle resets right now. Quick explanation if you don't know. Puzzle is a game mode where you have an unfinished map and you are given blocks. In this case, for example, you are given 3 quarter pipes like this, you're given 1 wood ramp like this, 1 booster to place, and you have to find the best solution to finish the track. And here we are looking currently at, I believe, our 6th or 7th, no, actually 8th entry so far. We're going in order by swapping. It's a 14.02 on this track. He is starting out, getting to this plastic checkpoint with the ramp, then booster. Keeps really good speed here over the wood, to be honest, and then just drifts into the finish. Honestly, looks pretty good as well. The one thing that he definitely loses time with is the start, because he has to first get onto this wood, not using a booster, and the climb is pretty slow on wood. He reaches the first checkpoint again at 4.7 seconds or something, then gets speed. That's a similar issue that Awesome Tom had. With getting up to speed slowly. Next one, finally getting the sub of 14 seconds now, is Stop Quoting Noobs. Stop Quoting Noobs is the next one with a 13.7, another 2500s faster. And this is where stuff begins to go crazy. You can be really, really creative with this. Starting off, he is also going to the plastic checkpoint first, going a little bit differently, keeps speed, has not used the booster yet because he wants it for the end here for a wall ride, bounce into the finish. Insane. So he goes similar to Swapping around here, gets the checkpoint very late, but he keeps speed really nicely, drops down here, saves blocks for himself to then hit overdrive right here, booster into wall ride from the plastic wall ride block into the quarter pipe, jump, bounce, finish. Insane. Actually insane. The creativity on this combination for the finish is actually insane. I love this. I absolutely love this. Loses, of course, again, time at the start. It takes him 5.7 seconds to get into the first checkpoint, which is a lot. But then, yeah, the end is beautiful. Also, he needed this wood checkpoint, otherwise it wouldn't work. Wall ride like this, then goes up, and he has to go to the right. So that's what the wood block right here is for. He had to conserve it for the end. Do all blocks need to be used? No, they do not. You can only finish with 1 block, for example, as well, if you really want to, if you really desire. Oh wait, before we end of this, I want to show you guys a quick comparison as well between Stop Quoting Noobs and Swapping. If we watch right here, they're starting off with different lines. Swapping getting into the checkpoint a lot earlier. Now Stop Quoting Noobs has more speed though, and has not used the booster yet. Now they're coming towards the end. Now Swapping, just as you remember, does a drift in the end. Whereas Stop Quoting Noobs is doing this wall ride. Swapping going for the drift, Stop Quoting Noobs, full speed wall ride, flies into the finish. Overtaking Swapping with a much more direct line. Alright, that was Stop Quoting Noobs one. Now the next one is yet again a little bit faster. It is a 13.71. And clocking in 800s faster than Stop Quoting Noobs. It is Xiarelia, and we are once again going to the right diagonal checkpoint here. Finds a much cleaner way to get into it though. Gets the booster now onto the wood and also goes for a roof hit plastic bounce, turns around into the finish. So he has found a much cleaner way than Awesome Tom, if you remember earlier, of getting into the first checkpoint here with the wall ride. The problem with this wall ride is, if you look from here, it blocks the path to the finish. It is so high that it actually blocks the finish. So it is in the way for the end, and because of that, he has to go extra wide and take speed here to be able to overjump it. That is why his ending is a little bit slower than it could have been, but otherwise, great solution. Great solution right there from Xiarelia, 13.71. Next one again, also just a little bit faster, is Mega Atri. It's really, really close. Around here. It is just another 700ths of a second, and we are going back for Mega Atri's one to the author time route. So goes onto the booster first, then onto the wood here, drives through the checkpoint, and then just very simple, puts the ramp here, jumps to the checkpoint, goes to the finish. Very simple, clean route right here. Grabs the booster early to get up to speed quickly, then maintains it over the wood, just driving into the checkpoint right here very easily. And then, yeah, just jumps into here. It's a nice combination, honestly, with the wall ride, the plastic wall ride, and the sausage. And then, yeah, just drives in the finish. Almost missed the finish, to be honest, but just about made it. Just about made it there. That was Mega Atri's one. Clocking in with a 13.64. Next one, though, again, another 0.2 of a second faster. We have a Frankie Pro. Frankie Pro with a 13.64. And he came up with a pretty similar solution as Mega Atri. Goes to the left now, doesn't use the booster early, uses it now instead, and also similar to Mega Atri, just jumps into a wall ride, keeps more speed into the finish. If we compare their solutions, you can see that Mega Atri here will be a lot faster at the start because he's going for a booster. Has to go wider, of course, but he will have a lot more speed here. Then Frankie Pro will come back here now with the booster, jumping into a wall ride, maintaining more speed, and goes for the overtake on Mega Atri right there by 0.2 of a second. Assuming every submission is a he. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just speak quickly. It's not meant like that, but that just happens. I should not probably do that. Next one. It's just quicker. It's one letter less. Okay, next one is Notokapek. Notokapek now going another 0.1 of a second faster, going for a 13.35. And it is a little bit of a different line again. Now, Notokapek is going to the plastic checkpoint first, grabs the booster here, jumps across onto the sausage, now through the platform checkpoint, onto the wood, bounce into the finish. Very, very clean finish right there. Very, very clean. So yeah, again, similar issues as some other people had is he starts without a booster and climbs on wood. So his start into the first checkpoint is a little bit slow, but then with the booster is able to make this jump across onto the sausage, keep speed, and the ending is just very clean because he stays on one level. All of these blocks here either stay on the same level or they go one lower, which of course is always faster than having to go upwards. And then very clean bounce into the finish right here, I think. A 13.35 by Notokapek. Next one, though, again, we're moving quickly here. It is 0.2 faster. Once again, we were at a 13.35 just now. Skipping straight to a 13.15 by the Invis Dragon. And this is a crazy new idea, I can already tell you. This one is really crazy. 13.15. Let's see how he was able to do it. Goes to the left, also goes into the wood first. Then jumps across here onto the platform now, booster into wood, and now bounce into the wall right at the end finish. Actually insane idea right here. He doesn't go for the booster again at the start, so he loses a little bit of time there, but then wood, jump, ramp, bounce. Absolutely crazy. I love this kind of stuff. Absolutely love this kind of stuff. One thing I am really confused about in this solution here is, why do you place this ramp? Like, what's the purpose? Like, it would have been faster to just not place it and drive on the wood, no? Or am I stupid? I don't know. But that I'm confused about that. But other than that, You didn't have to use all of the blocks. Maybe you thought you had to use all of the blocks and touch every single one of them once, maybe. But yeah, this jump here, super clean. Beautiful. Beautiful execution as well. Really nice one. Bouncing like that to keep the speed. As I said before, if you do this route here, you have to do a very, very tight turn here of almost 180 degrees. And doing it with a plastic bounce is a very, very nice solution. Keeps the speed, gets it nicely. And yeah, was able to get himself a 13-15 with that. With a nice improvement here. Alright. Next one after that is Yek. And Yek, a different Yek, with a double G, or GG rather. With a 13.12, improving by another 300ths of a second. Goes for a different line. He goes for the diagonal. We have seen so many different lines already. Goes for the diagonal here, now booster, and drifts into the right here. Now as well goes for the plastic bounce, bug slide, finish. We saw that earlier already once from, I believe it was Xiarelia, with a similar line, blocking himself at this jump here. You can see here the wall ride is blocking his jump, or the direct line to the finish, so he has to jump over it. But he managed to get it a little bit cleaner here. He mostly went for short distance. Like here, he goes through the triangle drifts, sacrifices a little bit of speed for that, but for that has a much faster or more direct line into here. Also plastic bounce, roof it into nice bug slide, keeping the speed into the finish. Able to get a 13.12. Next one is Domino Marama, and I can already tell you this section here is quite fun, because Domino is also going to the right checkpoint here, right diagonal, just able to beat out Yek by another 1/10 of a second. Found a different line there, now grabs the booster here and just jumps into the checkpoint from the side, keeps more speed, jump into the finish. Interesting approach here. I love that this fits. This wall ride block here through the checkpoint really fits well, and also helps a lot with this border. As I said before, with this diagonal block, this border is a big pain to get over, because you just have to gain that little bit of height, which is very difficult with the blocks that I gave you to get a little bit of height. But he makes it nicely with this. It just perfectly fits below, and gets it like that. Then, of course, here drives onto the booster, keeps good speed, and then just jumps from the side. It keeps more speed than the bug side actually, like that. Able to beat out Yek, but by 1/10 of a second. Next one, Easy Gold, is yet another 500ths faster. First one to get below the sub 13 seconds time. And he also went to the diagonal checkpoint right here. Goes with this line across, which is very creative as well. Now takes the booster here onto the wood, jumps from the side and just roof it like that into the finish. Just does it like this. So it goes across the block right there, over the wall ride to the right, and just jumps, wall ride, and drives into the finish. Interesting solution here as well, that's for sure. He of course couldn't use the plastic bounce, which would have been very nice yet then to keep a little bit more speed instead of the platform bounce, which loses more speed, because he had to use it here at the start for his connection on this one. Which is also a very nice connection. It just makes it from the start to the diagonal checkpoint in one block. Also, another thing that I haven't mentioned yet is the booster is quite an interesting block, because it always creates these canisters on the side, but only if it's not connected. It looks like this if it's unconnected on the right side, but it looks like this if there is a block on the side. And Easy Gold's taking full advantage of that, placing this block, not even driving over it, it's just placed here to get rid of the canister, to be able to take a little bit more speed through it, which was enough for him to gain a little bit more time and beat out Domino by 500s, who didn't place the block there, and because of that had to slow down more as well. And now finally the next one also goes to the right, diagonal. Everybody using this line right here. It's becoming mainstream at this point. Everybody going to the right diagonal checkpoint. Orca codes with just 100 faster. This is Orca codes right here. With a 1295, goes with the exact same block. Also now goes to the right here. Hasn't used the booster yet. Only uses it now for the roof fit and through the triangle into the finish. Just like that. Very simple, very easy. It's just taking a lot more simple. No weird plastic ones or something like that. Just jump and then drive through the checkpoint, you know? And I would really like to show you these 4 players against each other, because it's really interesting. Following Orca Code's line right here, we are going all 4 through the block right here. We have, as I said, you know, Domino Marama going through the block, the most inside. Then we have Easy Goat, Orca Codes, and Yak as well. Now we will see that Orca Codes does not take a booster here. The others will take a booster, will be able to overtake him then. Driving a different line here. They are all in front. However, he, Rufitz, now has saved up blocks for himself and then goes through the triangle, has more speed, and just drives into the finish. And look at this comparison. Yo, thank you very much, Hayanushi. Thank you very much, Hayanushi. Hope you enjoyed. Look at this finish. Thank you very much for the tier 2. Look at this finish. Insane. I love it. I absolutely love it. 4 people coming in with the exact same route, and it's just this close. Also, I want to see this again from his perspective here. Look at this overtake on Easy Goat. On the finish line. Literally on the finish line right there. Beautiful. I love this kind of stuff. It's like, they all have completely different ideas and execution, but they all exactly end up at the same place at the finish. However, now we're going back again to the author time route, the route that I used in the author time. It is another 6 seconds, 600ths of a second faster by, here we go. He's going to the left, just does the wood again, no booster here at the start. Will use the booster now, and then goes for a roof fit into sausage to keep all of his speed into the finish. Actually really clean right there, really clean roof fit. That's very nice how he managed to get this one done. Gets the booster here and he just keeps the speed. Jumps, roof fit, very clean landing into the sausage. And with that, able to keep 200 speed through the last checkpoint, which is very difficult to keep that much speed. It is one of the hardest ones, and we will see a lot of different solutions to this one right here. Bounces, landing, just clean. This one was by, here we go, a 1289. However, we have still a little bit more to go. Next one is a Lil Vinny, going another 700ths of a second faster, and we once again have a different route here. He is going to the plastic checkpoint first and does it with the plastic wall ride. Now grabs the booster, drops down into the checkpoint, keeps a lot of speed here. Now super creative transition there onto the wood and finishes from the quarter pipe. Really, really clean. Really, really clean. Alright, drops down, wall ride into transition and jump right here. 12.82 is the time right here. Once again, similar, always same thing with these kind of routes is it takes a while to get into the first checkpoint. He does not use a booster at the start. That loses him a little bit of time. But afterwards, really, really clean. And I absolutely love this transition here. The quarter pipe into wood to make the turn and land here. I absolutely love that. And then also just a very simple line here, keeps the speed into the finish. Very nice. By a Lil Vinny right here. Very nice one. Next one we want to take a look at though is Pseudo. And he had a very, very, very bold strategy. Remember me just talking about how, here we go, use the booster a little bit late? Well, let's take a look at Pseudo. Because Pseudo just goes to the left, drives over the platform, maintains the wooden blocks for this section now, and then goes for a roofed boxlight finish. He had the bold strategy to use the booster one block before the finish. Very, very effective, I gotta say. Very effective. But other than that, really, really good solution. He keeps nice blocks here, nice block usage, and the bug slide out of this roof is just amazing. Into triangle, keeps a lot more speed with the booster, and then also uses the sausage block, which is very interesting, as a wall hit into the finish to just get it a little bit faster. Very, very nice run. I honestly think the creativity on this one is really nice. Going through these checkpoints, also not going over wood here, just like doesn't care about the wood, just drives through it with a block mixed wall ride like this. Very nice. And that was a Pseudo's run, a 12.78. Again, another just 0.04 of a second faster. And the one after that is Porky. Barely missing out on the 69. It is a 12.68. And look at this. Where's the car? This is his start. This is what Porky came up with the start. So remember how it was difficult to skip over the border if you go to the right side into the diagonal? Well, he just placed the sausage block into the start and does this. Bug out, drive in. Very clean. Loses no speed. Then grabs the booster and then also does roof it into the last checkpoint. Finish. Really, really nice. Just bugs out through the checkpoint clean. Keeps the booster here. And then another roof it strat for the last checkpoint into the finish. Really, really nice one. And I think a very cool solution that this works. Obviously, if you look at the start right here, it is always very interesting if you place blocks right into the start. He just starts here and then drives, and he's popped out. Really cool. I like it. Where are we at? Top 20 already? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Alright, next one is Ezu XR. Also going to the right diagonal. Right here. Switching to this one. And he was yet again another 1/10 of a second faster. And he came up with another new idea that nobody has done before. And that is to go into the checkpoint and block mix the booster into the checkpoint. To get it a little bit faster, gets it one block earlier. Also clean roof it right there into the finish. He goes with this block here, which we've seen it before. A bit of a cleaner entry. And then just block mix the booster in here. Why wait one block to place it if you can just place it here already? It's just faster. You get it a little bit earlier. Then onto the wood right here, keeps the speed. And again, just very, very clean roof it. It's just clean, you know? Nothing special, just clean. Keeps the speed into the finish. Very nice one, honestly. Very, very nice one by Ezu XR. It is a 12.59. And it is getting definitely much faster now. Next one. We know him very well as well. It is Scheiberder. Scheiberder on the next position. Also going to the right diagonal at the start with a 12.35 over 2/10 faster. And here, let's take a look at it. It is basically this very similar strat as we saw earlier. However, he goes just that little bit tighter into the finish right here. Just takes a tighter turn. Grabs the, goes with the plastic wall right here as well. Takes the booster then one block later over the wood. And just drives a bit more inside here. The Ezu from earlier had a lot more speed, but he took a way wider line. And we can also see that very well if we compare their runs right here. Also, by the way, there's a lot of comparisons right here. I put just dummy ones here so that you don't know when it ends. Because I thought if you know, oh, we're at the last one, then no replays are coming anymore. So you don't know when it ends. Alright. We can see here the difference. They are very close to each other. And now Ezu is taking the booster earlier. Scheiberder is taking it now. Can keep also good speed with this. Just going more inside here. As I said, shorter distance is king. with this, is in the head of Ezu, and then landing here. Ezu coming in with more speed, going wider, but once that speed pays off, Shabada is already at the finish. And that was enough for the 12.35 right there, for Shabada to be faster than Ezu on basically the exact same route. Next one is Hugo, also somebody who sent in pretty early, I believe. Another 100th of a second faster, and he's going to the left again. We are going back to the wood route, getting the wood checkpoint first. He is just grabbing the boost from the side like this and coming up with something very special right here. Dropping down onto the wood and bug slide from that side into the finish. He's grabbing the booster pretty quickly right here, getting it nicely, then driving through the checkpoint in a wall ride, and then just gets a nice nosedive as well into the finish. That was Hugo's solution right there. 12.34. That bug side is hard? It is hard. It is very hard to get that kind of bug side done. But now we have somebody very special. Something very special. Something that nobody else did. It is with a 12.22. It is Dennis, who, out of all the participants, was literally the only one to take the platform checkpoint first. He was the only one. Nobody else did this. But he's also really creative with it. Look at that. Look at that roof fit into here, wall ride through that checkpoint finish. Gets himself a 12.22. Another over 1/10 of a second improvement. Literally the only one who did this route. Nobody else tried this. But yeah, goes to the right here, immediately grabs the booster, which is very nice in comparison to, for example, the diagonal one, where you can't really take the booster at the start. It's very difficult to take the booster at the start. Nobody has done it so far. Then, of course, he doesn't go for the wood, so he has to drift to the checkpoint, then grabs the wood, and now I love this roof fit right here that he came up with. Roof fit on the wooden beam here on the left. Really creative stuff. I love that roof fit. Really, really cool. Also here, doesn't want to bother with the plastic, just puts sausage into the plastic checkpoint so he doesn't land on plastic, drops down here, and through the diagonal of the checkpoint, triangle finish from the side. Sadly, I can't really compare this to any other route because literally Dennis was the only one to do this one. So you can't really compare it to any other one. But yeah, there you go. 12.22 was enough. Was a pretty nice one. 200ths of a second faster, and we're going to Jetre. Surely I pronounced that correctly. We're going basically back to the basics right here, a 12.20, and very simple solution. Goes from the wood, takes the booster immediately over the platforms, and just jumps onto here and into the finish. No crazy plastic bounces, roof hits or something like that. He just jumps. Very simple, very effective, works very nicely. Also, this combination is quite effective though, to be honest, using this wall ride into this wall ride to save a little bit of space. Just clean. Works. 12.2. That was enough for 12.2. That was enough by Jet Race there. Next one is Mac and Cheese. Just barely missing out. Why people not make red boosters plus plastic? You have only specific blocks. You only have these specific blocks that you're given. You only have the yellow normal booster, you only have one wall ride, you have only one sausage. You have to use those specific blocks to work with. This one here by Mac and Cheese is a 12.008. Just barely missing out on the sub 12. I'm upset I didn't get the 11, I can see that. He's going to the right diagonal one first. Now doesn't take the booster here in the start because he wants to conserve it for the very end. Roof it, plastic bounce, bug slide, finish. Really, really clean run. opted, as I said, to take the booster in the block mix or in the very, very ending plastic roof fit connection right here. As I said before, at the last checkpoint, like most checkpoints you take here, this is always like, this is a 90-degree corner, this is a 90-degree corner, this is a 90-degree corner. The last one always has to be 180 degrees because you have to get back to the finish, right? And because of that, he decided to take the booster at the very end. Very bold to only use it then, but it quite worked out here because otherwise he definitely would not have kept as much speed at the end. Pretty clean otherwise, and that was enough for 12.008. We can also watch a quick comparison on this one as well with Ezu and Shaibada from earlier. And as we can see here, Shaibada is not taking any boosters right here. The other two will overtake by a lot, but then coming back in the finish with the booster just to take the victory from them. It was really close right here if you look at the comparison. They are quite far ahead, doing much earlier roof hits right here, getting the checkpoint about half a second quicker than Mac and Cheese, but then he just gets it cleaner through here, booster, finish, nice. A hydrate? Okay, I probably should do that at some point. Alright. Because now we are going into sub 12 category. Territory, I was meant to say, not category. Sound very similar. Alright. And the next one, a sub 12, comes by a very, very good player. It is an 11.969 by Brinken. Brinken participating with the first sub 12 and a really, really creative one at that. Really, really creative solution right here. He's gonna go with the booster up here onto the wood, through the plastic, now does the wood there to conserve his speed, then jumps into the last wood turn and now does this for the finish. Holy shit, what is that? What did I just look at? What a creative run right here, what a creative route, I love this. Look at this in slow motion. He bounces up against the quarter pipe right next to the finish and then places the plastic wall right here to bounce into the finish. He could also not have placed the plastic wall right any earlier because then, well, would have blocked the start, you know? So this was the only placement that he could work with, and it worked really well. Using the booster at the very beginning, going up with a wood ramp, then through the plastic onto wood to conserve his speed, because obviously with plastic it's so hard to make a turn to the right. He conserves the speed with the wood and then jump across here. Again, a different route, of course. This one is quite a rare route, going for the plastic checkpoint first, get the hardest one out of the way immediately, and then what a beautiful finish. Really, really nice stuff here by Brinken. Really, really nice stuff. First one to get a sub 12. After Brinken now, we have the next one coming in is Azarkan. Azarkan with 11.96. And this is a quite nice one as well, because he takes the booster here, goes across with the wood, and he decided to just drive up one block and finish. Just drives up with the wall web block. No jump, no roof hit, no plastic bounce. He just drives up onto this and it works. Simple, but very, very effective. Just drive, you know? Just, what are you doing the jumps for? Just drive through it. Works really well. And then into the finish right here. Very effective, very simple. Works nicely. He had to use the wooden ramp here at the start, I believe. To conserve one block. That's what he tried here. To conserve one block on the wood, he jumps with the wooden ramp in between. And then, yeah, just very clean. Use the ramps here at the end. The wood wouldn't fit on this, actually. The wood wouldn't work. It would not be able to be placed here. So he had to use this ramp, which was very hard, I believe. Yeah, gets it. Also, David, thanks for the gifted sub to Arnes as well. Appreciate it. Alright, alright. Next one coming in is Funny Pills. Funny Pills, 11.91, yet another 0.05 of a second faster. He is going as well to the left, and the ending of this is really beautiful. Goes first of all above with the sausage, and then wood into quarter pipe, finish. What a beautiful transition. We have seen it earlier taken in the other direction, but like, just look at this beauty of a transition. Surely I planned this, right? What a beautiful transition right there. It's, I don't know, it's just insane. I love it. And you're able with this one to keep a lot of speed. Conserves blocks here with the sausage to go across like this, into a slight drift to the left, and then able to keep a lot of speed with the wood across like that into the finish. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. There you go. That was a funny pulse one. And now the next one is someone very creative, who I might curse a little bit later on as well. It is, I was very surprised to see him here to send in a run. Of course, a very prolific mapper with an 11.88. It is Tom. Tom sending in a run as well, getting himself an 11.88. And in fact, did a quite different upper line here at the end as well. Goes for the wood checkpoint as well. And now comes up with this instead. Just going onto the sausage at the end. Very similar as well. Goes booster, wood, over the platform, wall rides, and then plays a little bit of scenery as well here, just for good measure. And just drives into the sausage, finish. 11.88. If we compare these as well, they are very nice to compare. We can best see it from Funny Pill's perspective. Right here, also with Azarkan as well. You can see they are both ahead right here with more speed, Tom and Azarkan. And then doing different lines, Azarkan just driving up, and then Tom and Funny Pills going here with this wooden line. They are both on the exact same block right now. Going in, now Funny Pills has a little bit of a cleaner transition here. Tom going onto the sausage. Azarkan just coming in right now into the finish, but now has to drive into the finish from the side, and it is Tom finishing fastest, then Funny Pills, then Azarkan. This finish that Azarkan did up here is hurt him quite a bit actually, in fact. He was ahead right here, but then has to jump up a lot to get into the finish line, which cost a little bit of time there. Well, it was an 11.88 by Tom. Very good effort. Very, very good effort right there by Tom. However, next one is a whole 1700s faster again. 1700s faster by Iblext. Here we go. And he came up with an interesting roofed line as well. Let's take a look. 11.79. Goes to the left as well, booster, onto the wood, into the platform, and now, watch this. Plastic bounce, drop, finish. He clipped a little bit at the end, but I think it was actually pretty good. Pretty good how he got it. So he drives up to the left, and plastic bounces immediately, just keeps all the speed, full speeds into here. And the thing is, if you land here like this, if you don't clip, I think you're flying off to that side. That he clipped was actually good in his case, so that he could keep the right direction, the right angle to the side. Lost a little bit of time with the acceleration penalty afterwards, but a good solution regardless, with a 0.71. Also a little bit more effective here at the start, I believe. And yeah, just able to full speed into this, which helps a ton, of course, not needing to slow down at all. Next one, again with just 600s faster, definitely not doing the minimum, is Existence minimum. With an 11.65, comes up with a very, very clean solution right here. Also going to the left, also going with the wood onto the platform, going back down onto the wood here, and now goes for a roof it like that into the finish. What is this? What is this roof it? That is so creative. What the hell? How does he get a direction like this? He goes in from the left like this, then bounces and gets an insane trajectory to the left. Now, of course, he lands in a way that still moves him in this direction right here. So he has to turn a lot and can only finish into or get into the finish from behind. If we compare this one as well, right here, with a blacks, we can see it especially well, I believe, in Cam 7, if we go quickly to the end right here. So it is existence minimum, slight lead into this checkpoint against a blacks. Both of them going, of course, for a very similar plastic bounce. Same wood block right here, both going for a plastic bounce, but with different approaches. Existence minimum coming from the left, a blacks coming from the right. Now, a blacks lands here, existence minimum, however, keeping way more speed, way more speed. The thing is, though, he has to finish from behind. A blacks can come from this side, has a shorter distance, but it is existence minimum with just 0.05 of a second, beating out a blacks right there with an 11.65. Next one by Zero Tech, another 1500s faster. And I would say at this point, it is an 11.49, sub 11.50. At this point, we are getting optimized. We are starting to get optimized now. 11.49 by Zero Tech. And let us take a look. He goes to the left, instant booster once again, helps so much with this kind of line. Wood into platform, trying a jump, jumps to the left, a drift, and drives into the finish. Just like that. Booster, wood, into triangle, jump across, and lands, drift, finish. Really clean. Really clean right there. Very simple, but effective. Obviously, drifting, being able to keep a lot of speed as well. We will see this one again though, because the next one by Arno is surprisingly similar. It is just 0.06 of a second faster, and he also jumps into a drift. Goes left, instant onto the booster, now onto the platform here once again, uses the ramp blocks for the side, jumps into drift, and then across here, keeps a little bit more speed into the finish. Very similar line, very similar approach, but very different execution actually on the blocks themselves. If we follow Arno's line here, goes a little bit more inside onto the booster. They both use the same booster, drop down into the wood. Now Zero Tech goes a lot tighter into the checkpoint with the triangle. Uses a quarter pipe block there to get across. Is a lot faster here. However, Arno jumps wider, uses a different block here to keep more speed into the finish and overtake in the last few meters of the track. That's how it worked. Arno with an 11.43. Jumping to the left and overtaking. And finally, after getting quite a few routes to the left in a row onto the wood, we have a different route coming in again by Tenchi, of course, who was the winner of the virtual connect the dots competition, if you remember. Was Margie already? She forgot to send in the time. I reminded her, she forgot about it, so I don't have her replay. I don't have anything to show. Of course, she forgot about it. I did remind her, but she was stuck to the couch or something. So yeah, unlucky. I think she had a 12.17 if I remember correctly. Would have liked to show it and explain and stuff and go into detail, but without a replay, a little bit difficult. But yeah, Tenchi though, coming in here with another 1/10 of a second improvement, an 11.36. Yeah, mixing it up here again, starting, as you can very clearly see here at the start, in sausage as well, going to the right, dropping out to get over the border, instant booster, triangle, gets onto the wood, and now look at this! Holy! Look at that bounce! What a creative solution here by Tenchi. The last few were a little bit similar and a bit repetitive with the routes. This one though, knocks it out of the park here once again. Bugs out of the sausage at the start, over the booster, triangle, then onto the wood like this, keeping great speed over the wood, and then just this bounce into the triangle. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. 11.36. Of course, as always, with this route to the right diagonal, only uses the booster 5 seconds in, which does cost a little bit of time. It always costs a little bit of time, only using the booster late. That is the one problem with the route. Otherwise, really optimized, great run there by Tenchi. Great run. Next one is another great player, is Lucius, with an 11.15, another 2/10 faster than Tenchi. And we are absolutely not stopping with the creativity right here. Lucius managed to find an insane roof hit at the end. Completely different to everybody else. Goes up the wood and roof hits on the quarter pipe into the finish. That is insane, this find right here. Takes the normal booster wood turn right here, and this combination is so cool. Wood into quarter pipe. It fits so well, and then also straight onto the wall right as well. So clean. So clean. Amazing. I just love this combination. Like these 3 blocks after each other. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This combination right here. And then also able to keep quite a lot of speed into the finish. And with that, 2/10 faster. Of course, now you have to do something special to get this kind of fast through the map. Really clean run by Lucius right there. 11.15. Next one is Gazer Ports with an 11.10. And this was quite impressive because this run was uploaded just a few hours after we started. 11.10 right here. And this one by Gazer Ports. Sleepy, if you sent one in, then I didn't receive it. There was no in there. I don't know. Apparently you didn't send in then. You must have messed up something. You have to hit send at the end if you don't know. Granadi missed that as well, apparently. Alright. But yeah, Gazer Ports starting off to the left with the wood. Then into the platform right here. And then finding a really clean wall right into wood transition right here. Really clean. Wood into platform and then jump, wall right, keeps the speed, and then this is just beautiful. Wood to the left to change his trajectory straight into the finish. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This transition right here onto the sausage. Sent in just a couple hours after and already so optimized. Really nice. Really nice right here by Gazer Ports. However, we were now really close to a sub 11 time. 11.10. And the next run is indeed another 1500s faster. First one to break the sub 11. And you're not ready for this one. You are not ready for what Alec Bees with his 10.95 has come up with. You're not ready. Watch this. Booster to the left, wood, platform, normal stuff right here, but now sets up wide, wood, bug slide into plastic bounce finish. Holy shit. What is this? That is just so insane. Goes extra wide, full speed into bug slide, plastic bounce finish. Perfectly making it into the finish. I don't know, this is just beautiful. The angle that he gets here is so nice as well. So nice. I love this jump trajectory with this bug slide. And using the plastic bounce, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's a bug slide on sausage is just insane as well. Really nice landing and gets it. I also want to do a comparison on this one as well with Gazer Ports. So you can see the difference that this kind of line brings right here. Let's take a look. So we have Alec Bees versus Gazer Ports. Similar starts here once again. You can see the small differences that come in from different block usages here. Gazer Ports is a little bit ahead. But now Alec Bees going wide, jumping into the checkpoint and just boing, finish. I especially love this comparison right here from the perspective of Gazer Ports. He just jumps in the checkpoint innocently, has a lot of speed, and then Alec Beast just comes out of nowhere, bounces into the finish. I love it. in also normal speed right here once again. Out of nowhere in front. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love that one. 10.95 by Alec Bees. We're going yet another to another improvement. Alec Bees was not the only one to come up with a bug slide, because Kamjic with a .91 also with a bug slide finish. Goes with a similar start here once again and bug slides through the checkpoint and just holds it into the finish like this. Yes, Kamjic, clearly. Goes with the same wood, white line, lands just on the plastic normally, no sausage block right here, and just keeps the slide going all the way into the finish. Really, really difficult to drive. And we compare this one again as well with Alec Bees. You can see that Kamjic had a little bit of a better start. Alec Bees is a bit behind in the start, about 1500s, goes wider, has to go, it isn't going through the triangle either. Sacrificing a little bit. It is about 1500s of a difference here, which does get a little bit closer. Alec Bees did have a better finish. You can see here the difference coming in. We can also see this if we compare them exactly. I can put Kamjic a little bit further back. You see here different approaches. Kamjic jumping a little bit lower. Alec Bees, of course, having to jump into the sausage. But yeah, the bounce and then just a beautiful line into the finish right there, separating the two. A .91. A 91 by Kamjic. Next one is Sanja Bob. Sanja Bob coming in with another small improvement. It's really, really gradual improvements right here. It is so close between the competitors on this one. Sanja Bob coming in with a .90. 15 thousandths of a second faster. Yeah, true. Kamjic, for some reason, sent in the wrong replay at first. It was a 19 seconds time. Yeah, and I had to ask him for the right replay, because he was like respawning a bunch of times in his replay. Imagine if I would have shown Kamjic's replay right now, like at the very start, like the fourth replay that I would show. It's a 19-second time. He had to respawn sadly 4 times at the end. Couldn't improve it, you know? Like that would have been way too much at the start. Alright, but yeah, Sanja Bob here, just 15 thousandths faster. And yet again, a different solution to the ending here. Jumps across here to conserve one block into a drift sausage finish. Very simple, very effective. No special bugs or anything like that, just goes into here, places the wood block inside of the checkpoint to immediately go up. Just jumps here and clean drift through the checkpoint, keep speed, finish. Very, very clean, very, very simple. And we can also compare this one as well with Alec Bees. If we compare this one, it's a nice comparison. If we check this one out in cam 7, we see they are fairly close going into this one. Now, Alec Bees, in comparison to Sanja Bob, sets up super wide here to get this bug slide. Has to set up super wide, whereas Sanja Bob is already like 1 block away from the finish line here. Then Alec Bees comes close again with the bug slide. It is close, but just with a little bit more speed, stays ahead. Actually, this ending here in slow-mo is kind of nice. If you look at them coming in, like Sanja Bob just jumps normal, drives normal, Alec Bees with a jump. Is enough though. The shorter distance that Sanja Bob has to drive right here into the finish was able to save him here a lot. And that was Sanja Bob's time. Next one, again, with just 200ths of a second, it is getting so close right here. It is one you might not expect to hear that early. It is a previous champion of the puzzle competition. It is Archidamus with a 10.88. And he's also going to the left. Archidamus instantly going with the booster, then wood, then onto the platform, and wood, drift, clean finish. Really, really clean. Early, haha. I say early. This is not in the top 10. We're not in the top 10 yet. I can tell you that much. We are not in the top 10 yet. We are not in the top 10. Usually, I think every single time Archidamus participated, he was in the top 3. This time he did not make it into the top 10. It is a beautiful run though. Like, where is he losing all of that time? How is he not even in the top 10? Where is he losing it? Where is he losing it? How could you improve this? Goes straight onto the booster, wood to conserve speed, onto the platform right here, goes across, triangle line, very tight line right here, then jumps onto this platform, nice drift into the finish. Now how is this not top 10? How is this not top 10? That's the question. Alright, and I would say, let's find out. Because sometimes, if you want to beat a time like that, if you want to go a little bit faster, you just have to get a little bit more creative. Surge Tail coming in with a 10.83, 500ths of a second faster. And this is a completely new idea here once again by Surge Tail. Conserves wood blocks right here to use them at the end, jump into the checkpoint, finish. 1083. He did not use any wood blocks here in the start, only the normal wood block right here. He did not use the turns, and because of that is able to use them here in the end, where it's so difficult to make turns. Very clever actually. Also this line right here, absolutely beautiful. How he goes through this onto the sausage, then onto this block. We have seen earlier how well this one fits through the diagonal checkpoint. Goes up onto the wood to get the different height. Of course, the wood, as I said earlier, it's on a difficult height right here. You know, it is it's 2 meters below the platform height. That is what makes this so difficult using the wood. But he found a way to climb up like this, a drive, and then just drives around 180 and then jumps into the last checkpoint, wood to the left, clean finish. It's a really clean one, honestly. Really, really clean one. I just want to watch it again. Surge Tail with a 1083. Beautiful. Just like that. Now, can you beat this with just a normal route? Or do you need to be more creative once again? Well, the next one we're going to take a look at is Sneaky with a 10.77. 600ths of a second faster. And he came with, once again, a completely new idea. 10.77. Booster onto the wood yet again, into the checkpoint, triangle, then going to the left, wood, and now squeezes himself underneath the roof to the finish. What is this idea? Holy shit, this is crazy. Wood into roof wood, squish, and gets the perfect line towards the finish. Really, really creative. I love this idea. Really, really cool idea, I think. Waiting for top 20. We are in the top 20. I can tell you that much. We are in the top 20. I can tell you that much. But more I'm still keeping secret. Oh, it should have been called Squeezy. That would have been good. Clean start as well, but yeah, this is really fast. Honestly, this is really fast. This is such a good idea. Going into this full speed and keeps a lot of speed. This is like the shortest route possible, basically, through this. Beautiful. Really, really clean one. Really, really clean one. But sometimes, yet again, it helps to just be one of the best players in the game. Because with another 600ths of a second faster, comes in Granadi. Granadi with a 10.71. Basically also built in collaboration with Massa, as far as I can tell. Granadi and Massa solution basically here. With a 1071. Debated. Wait, are you saying debated because I said it's one of the best players and then it's just Granadi? Is that why you're saying debated? He was voted best player of the year 2023 actually. just clearly. No, Granadi with a very clean route here. Also, of course, if you're a very good player, you have a keen eye, of course, as well to see what can you improve, what can you do faster. And it is a beautiful run that Granadi drove. Goes onto the booster, onto the wood, drives around here, triangle line as tight as possible, and then jumps into the wall ride super tight through the checkpoint finish. Really, really clean. Immediately gets up to speed with the booster, onto the wood, then really clean line through this as close as possible to the triangle, lands early, which actually saves a ton as well, landing early like that, and then beautiful jump right here from the quarter pipe into a wall where he keeps most of his speed into the checkpoint, and then just clean into the finish with a wall hit as well. Also found the wall hit. 1071. Ah yeah, for you guys it's Granadi. Yeah, true. Show it once in his camera. This is how it looks like. Camera 3, wood turn, triangle, wall ride, and suck, finish. Now, I did watch a little bit of Granadi building this one, and the question was really, how do you improve this? How do you go faster than this? How do you get faster than this? Like here, they are starting off, instantly going onto the booster. Booster is the first block that they go onto after the start. Then, driving into the wood right here, keeping all of the speed built up with the wood, building up a lot of speed as well into the wood here. Then triangle checkpoint, can't get it any closer than that. Here, not wasting any space as well, going to this one. And then this wall ride line that he does keeps so much speed as well. Like he jumps into a wall ride, low line right here, keeps so much speed, over 200 into the last checkpoint. Now, how do you improve this? That is the question. That's the question. One way to improve it is just to be incredibly 5-hit. Because the next one, by Stratos, is another 800 faster. And look at the start. Where is he starting in? He is starting in the plastic wall ride, which moves his car out of the start position. Right here, you can see he gets teleported out to the left like this. So he's a little bit further ahead, saving a couple hundredths of a second. But that is not all that he does in the run. Goes to the left, a booster, onto the wood as we've seen before, platform right here, and then goes for a bug slide instant finish as well. Absolutely beautiful. We've seen this bug slide before as well. It's coming back, and it's just so well done right here. Instantly jumps into the finish. Once again, a different placement of this sausage block, which is crazy. But yeah, just jumps and straight into the finish. Absolutely beautiful. So beautiful. What a run. But yeah, let's compare this with Granadi, I would say, because then you can really see the differences on this one. So if we look here at the start, you can see already right here, Stratos ahead, because the car just starts somewhere else. Also bounces forwards a little bit. It's not a huge difference, but it is a difference. He is a couple hundreds ahead here at the start. Now Granadi keeps a little bit more speed here, goes for more speed setup, will overtake here, but that is also because Stratos managed to save one wood block at the start. He could have used the wood block here, but then he wouldn't have been able to use it here at the end. So that is why Granadi is coming back here with more speed. And then going into the ending, and if we look at this in camera 7, we can see it really well. Granadi going for a more inside line as we've seen before, but Stratos just able to keep more speed into here, bouncing, and then look at this finish here. Granadi is in front, but Stratos coming from the other side and finishes faster. Just that little bit faster right there. That was faster by Stratos. We can also watch it fast from his side as well. Then you can see it really well. It's always difficult with finishes like this. Jump, finish. That was 800 faster. It's really hard to tell that was 800 faster, but it is. It is. Alright. That was a Stratos one. And now, the next one. I love this one. Right here. By Smithy. It is a comeback that I've been waiting on for a while now already. It is, he's going to the right diagonal checkpoint first. But that is not even the craziest thing about this run. Because if you thought Stratos just now was really creative and 5-head, look at this. This is Smithy's start. This is where he's starting. The start box is here. This is the box where you normally start in. He is starting here already. But that's not all. Because as he starts, he teleports even further. He's completely outside of the start box. Look at this. What is this? Just fully out of the start box, starting like this. Absolutely crazy. So sick. Absolutely sick find right here by Smithy. This bobsleigh, this sausage combination right here, absolutely beautiful. But not only that, he found a way to get rid of the big problem with the right diagonal thread. Because always the problem was, you couldn't use a booster. However, what does Smithy do? He takes the booster at the very beginning and just roof hits into the diagonal checkpoint immediately, keeping over 200 speed. 200 speed into this is really fast. And then jumps into here and beautiful transition into the finish as well. What a run. Clocking in at a 10:49. 10:49. Sub 10:50. Beautiful run. Absolutely beautiful run. Booster at the start. Roof hit right there. Barely fitting through the diagonal checkpoint. Keeping his speed. Then onto the wood through the triangle. Keeping all of his speed. Now has to jump here to the left, but it works out. The sausage just barely doesn't block it, which is really nice. Jumps onto the wood and then around here. Beautiful transition once again. We have seen this one before. And then finish. What a beautiful one. It's just beautiful. Absolutely a work of art. We can compare this one as well to the last best one that we've seen with this route, which was a Tenchi. And if we compared right here with Tenchi, we see already the start. So far ahead. He is so far ahead of Tenchi. But that is not all. Because not only does he, camera, start ahead like this, literally over a car length ahead. Page 2 out of 4, those are just different clips. I have just made a bunch of clips here to act as, you know, that you don't know when it ends, basically. Just a bunch of clips, so you don't know. It's just 2 pages. It's the same thing as when I don't say where we are right now, so you don't know when it ends. You don't know. Maybe maybe Smithy's one is the fastest. Who knows? Or maybe there's another one. We will see. We will see. But yeah, you see the difference now here. Tenchi is just a lot slower into the checkpoint and also slower now. Grabs the booster now though, and also has a very clean ending here. Plastic bounce, finish. Oh, it ends so early. It's 1 second faster, by the way. It's 1 second faster. The difference with the booster at the start is just absolutely massive. Massive, the difference. Tenchi's finish we've seen earlier as well was very exciting. He, of course, keeps also more speed into here as well. This is about similar right here, right? This is about similar. Tenchi's finish earlier was beautiful, but that was also because they were able to save a lot more blocks for the plastic bounce at the end. But even this finish, this beautiful finish by Tenchi, plastic bouncing through the triangle right there, it only comes out to being basically equal with Smithy. And Smithy basically had no blocks left at the end. He used all of the good ones in the end. Beautiful, beautiful combinations right there. That was Smithy with a 10.49. Crazy thing is though, we had earlier a lot of similar routes. Now finally we had a different one going to the right diagonal checkpoint. The next one also is going a different route again. It is by Milmi, just 100th of a second faster, at 10:48. And he is going to the plastic checkpoint first. We have not seen this in a long, long time. How does he do it? Well, of course, with a beautiful transition as always. Into it, direct wall right, drops down into this checkpoint, through the triangle here as well, wood and finish jump. Beautiful. Beautiful route right here. It's so optimized in so many spots right here. Mimi's route. Going with the plastic. Goes to the left, instant onto the booster, gets the full booster right here before the wood. Then into the wall ride transition, beautiful transition through the checkpoint, doesn't get any plastic at all. Then keeps a lot of speed through here, has over 250 speed at this point. And then through the triangle, then onto the wood once again, and just has enough blocks left to get a bounce like this into the finish. And what a close finish jump here as well. Insane, absolutely insane right there. How close this was right here to get into the finish. Really optimized. Will this be the last time that we see this route? We will see. We will see. Maybe we will see something similar again with the plastic. But let's go to the next one. Because Tex is coming in now with another improvement. And it is an entire 1/10 of a second faster. 10:39. And we are back to the wood start. He is going to the wood, goes over the booster, gets a very smooth transition right there through the triangle, and then just drives into the wall right like this. Also fine in the transition. First of all, the start here goes with the booster sideways, then keeps grip right here over the platform, onto the downhill, to the left, then triangle, as we see, really, really optimized so far, and then beautiful line right here, onto the wood, into the transition right here, drift, set up wide, keep massive amounts of speed into the finish. Enough for a 10:39. And on this one as well, I would like to compare once with Archidamos. We have seen Archidamos earlier route, which was very similar, in fact, and I would like to take this opportunity to compare where are the differences. How is Tex gaining 5/10 of a second onto Archidamos? Archidamos had a 10:88 and Tex with a 39. So where is he gaining that? First of all, at the start right here, Archidamos going for a different booster, going for the booster in this direction instead of the booster in this direction, which initially loses speed, but then gets more speed later on. However, Archidamos drops into the wood. He has a little bit of airtime, loses a little bit of time because of that. However, now can go a bit more inside here. However, still has quite a bit less speed right here going into this. And now also, you see just how much the speed difference makes right here. He is about 3/10 of a second behind here already, if we look in Cam 7 as well. 3/10 of a second. And then the rest just comes from the smooth transition and going higher up in the wall ride. Archidamos is close here with this drift, but he, of course, has a much different angle here, which loses him a lot of speed into the finish, and Tex is able to overtake with a 10:39. Next one. And this one is crazy that we're coming up with right now. It is one of the best players in the game. A lot of people have expected him. And I can already tell you, it is an insane run. It's Alcon. Alcon coming in, first time participating in the puzzle competition with a 10:35. 10:35 by Alcon. And he found an insane strat for the finish again. Really clean start, beautiful start, basically perfect start right here, and goes for the bug slide. And what a bug slide right there. What a bug slide. It's basically the perfect start that he drives. Perfect start. Like, you can't really do this any better, the start right here with this line. Goes wide and then sets up for this bug slide right here, and it's a work of art. Work of art, this bug slide. Over the sausage, goes across here, and then slides out exactly at the right spot to finish backwards like this. And the crazy thing is, the only thing that slows him down is that he goes a little bit wide for the backside. That's all. He just takes a little bit more distance here. That's it. That's the only thing that is slow about this one. Basically perfect start, keeps the nice grip on the downhill here as well. It's a great one. Great one. The only thing that slows him down is that he's going more distance here. Otherwise, speed, conversation, everything, great. And what a finish. We can also compare this one very... Wait, never mind. We will compare this one later. We'll compare this one later. Also, I have to say, with this backslide here, this is the fastest backside one. This is the fastest backside one out of all of them. With this approach right here, it is the fastest. Oh, that was the wrong button. That was the fastest one. Beautiful run by Akon. But it was not enough to win. It was not enough to win. Because we have a repeat from earlier. We have Halt coming in with just 1/100th of a second faster. A 0.34. 1/100th faster than Alcon. And he's doing a completely different route again than Alcon. Specifically, he is doing the same route as Milmi, with just a different booster placement. Going for the booster here, to get it a bit earlier, same transition here again, dropping down to the right, through the triangle, wood, and same bounce into the finish. Booster like that, and into the checkpoint, the exact same strat right here. Really, really optimized. It turns out, placing the booster like this, even though you get less booster, is faster. If we compare here with Milmi's one, we have Milmi going left and has to turn a little bit more until he gets the booster, whereas Halt gets it instantly. So he will be quite a bit ahead here. He accelerates earlier. Now, then Milmi comes back with more acceleration later on. However, Halt with his earlier boost gets a better line right here, drops down, and also just drives a good run into the finish to be able to beat him, to beat Milmi out by just 1/10 of a second. A 0.34. Really, really similar routes right here by the two players. But yeah, was enough. Was enough for Halt to beat him out. However, even this is not enough. Because we have another person, once again, faster. And this is honestly a great opportunity for us all, because we can get a rare glimpse into the mind of what is going on in the mind of the Deep Dip 2 Floor 16 mapper. Because Jumper, who built Floor 16, sent in this. Let's take a look. A 0.33. Also, haha, 34% chatting. A 0.33 by Jumper. Let's get rid of all of the stuff. Okay, and let's actually look at it. He drove a 0.40 before. He's first sent in a 0.40. You can see the differences here. Later on, he did improve to a 0.33. This put him 4 spots higher. He overtook multiple people with the small improvements of 700ths, which is actually insane. Jumper, now we can actually see the what he's doing here. He's going to the left. Actually, let's watch it normal first of all. Going to the left, clean downhill right here onto the wood, then through the triangle, jump to the left, and just clean transition with the transition into the finish right there. Beautiful line. Just slows down in the exact right way to keep maximum speed, jumps up very far right here, and just... And wait, you only braked actually, interesting. Yeah, you only braked a little bit, and that was enough to get around. That's crazy. Because you definitely cannot take this full speed right here. You have to slow down a little bit, and he just brakes a little bit to get around, and then wall bounce, finish. Really, really clean run right here. And I would like to also compare this one again, right here, with Granadi. Because it's a very nice comparison between the two. Granadi had a 0.71 and a Jumper with a 0.33. Also, good point, Phil, with the question, how is this different from Granadi? Because I actually set up the comparison with Granadi already. Perfect. Good question. Good question, man. Yeah, you're cooking. Good question. Alright. So, if we take a look at this comparison between a Jumper and Granadi, following Granadi's line, we see Granadi with a different booster right here. Initially loses a little bit of speed, but then has more speed into here. Jumps though, so loses a little bit speed of because of that already again. Then both go through the triangle, and then of course here the different lines coming in. Granadi jumps into the wall right, goes inside here, but just loses it in the end in comparison. He was already a little bit behind, but then also gets a worse line, worse grip into the finish. And with that, Jumper able to shave off a total of 4/10 on Granadi's run with this approach right here. Really, really clean, really nice transition right there by Jumper. However, even this is also not enough, because we still have a few more 5-heads in this community. And the next one is Eastful. Eastful, once again, has won puzzle competition before. And Eastful comes in with a 0.27. Another 600 faster. And this is just a beautiful run right here. This is like the best normal run that we see. I can tell you already. This is the best normal run. A 10.27 by Eastful. Goes to the left, onto the booster, onto the wood. Now clean driving here once again, and does the same line as Tex, keeps a little bit more speed into the finish. Just really clean, nice driving from Eastful right here. Beautiful transition into the wall right, and finish like that. It just keeps so much speed everywhere. It's really clean. I mean, you can really nicely compare this one as well to earlier, where Tex basically did the same route, right? And the only difference with this is that Eastful basically, it's small differences, very small differences here in the start, which come out to Eastful being a few hundreds ahead, and then just driving a little bit of a better drift. That's all the difference. And between Tex and Eastful is again 4 positions of a difference. 4 positions of a difference. It is just so close around here. Eastful with a 0.27, Tex with a 0.39. We can also see the finish again with from Tex's point of view, if we look at it like this. That's all the difference right there. All the difference. We can also very nicely compare this as well if we put in also Jumper and Alcon, because these are like different routes that they were doing, right? Can get rid of Text one for now, because it's basically the same as Eastful's. So they are all doing very similar lines here, right? They are all going to the left at the start, going onto the booster, then carrying the speed over the wood, through the triangle right here. They are all super close. I can also turn the names on, so you see the different players here. And now all 3 of them do different lines, and it's just so beautiful to watch, because Jumper goes full to the left, Eastful is going up, Alcon setting up wide to the right side. Then all of them come in here. Eastful is going high with the wall ride. Jumper is just driving up. Alcon setting up for the bug slide landing that he's going to do. Now they all 3 come into the checkpoint right here. It is so close. Jumper first to reach the checkpoint, then Eastful, and then Alcon with his bug slide line. And they are all 3 still driving into the checkpoint right here. Alcon coming in with so much speed from the bug slide. They are so close to each other. Jumper is here, Eastful is there, then Alcon is on this side. And if we now look at this from the finish right here, Eastful and Alcon from higher lines, Jumper below them, and it is with just fractions of a second. Eastful on first. then Jumper on second from these three, and then Alcon on third. Beautiful, beautiful. 3 completely different lines coming in with basically the exact same finish time. It was a .35 for Alcon, a 33 for Jumper, and a 27 for Eastful. Yeah, absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. You can see the different lines here, and it's all converging at the end like this. Beautiful. I love that Alcon finishes backwards. I just love it. I just love that he finishes backwards. Right, those were the normal solutions. Because there is someone who is very good at puzzling as well. One of the longest standing Trackmania players in the game has started the game, playing the game in 2004. And with his superior knowledge, found something that nobody else has found so far. It is Marius89 starting on a booster. Remember how I always say, using the booster as quickly as possible is important. Why not use it instantly on the start block? And that is what Marius came up with. Starting on a booster like this. The crazy thing with this is, which is weird, I can tell you already, I did not find this. I did not find this. Why? The thing is, yo, thanks, Kaline. I appreciate it. It was very suspenseful for me as well when I first saw all of these runs. It was really sick. This is block mix. You can just block mix blocks into each other, as you see with other blocks here as well. You can just block mix them. The crazy thing with this one is, if you place the booster in this direction, it doesn't work for some reason. I honestly don't understand why. I'm gonna be honest. I tried it in this direction, it doesn't work. The booster only works in this direction. It is direction dependent. I honestly have no idea why. I did not know about this. But Mario is able to figure it out here. And with that, instantly accelerates. However, the rest of his solution, you might remember, we have seen it before. It's the exact same one that Milmi and also Hout found. Finishing like that. He just starts immediately on a booster like this. Immediately starts it like that. And we can also easily compare these ones as well. Wait, no, mind, I didn't set up a comparison for this. Wait, I will show that later. I forgot about that. We're not looking at a comparison for this. Because Marius might not be the only one who found this booster. Small secret. Just a small secret. The thing is though, you do not need to find this booster to beat out Marius. Because Imperator with an insane run. Oh, by the way, Marius' time was a .21. Imperator found a route to get a .15 in over a tenth faster again than Eastful. And he does it without the booster. He does not use the booster on the start block. How does he do it? Well, he does the normal wood line, goes to the left, keeps grip here, gets a lot of speed through the triangle, onto the wood, and bug slides into the finish. Did you actually believe me when I said that Alcon was the last player, the fastest with the bug slide? No, Imperator finding a completely different bug slide through the checkpoint and keeping insane speed into the finish. It is a different kind of bug slide. It is a different setup, which is just so much quicker. It is insane that this is so fast, a 10.15. It's beautiful how much speed he keeps with this. He has 170, 80 speed still after the bug slide, and he's so quick into the checkpoint, which is just insane. Insane right here. Gets a really nice transition right here into the bug slide from the wood, placing the wood block mixed into the checkpoint to immediately jump upwards to the checkpoint. Beautiful one. 10.15. At 10.15. However, at 10.15, it is so close to a sub 10. A lot of people have been asking the entire week already. Will we reach a sub 10? Is it possible? Imperator's time was a 10.15. The next one that I will show you is another 17 hundredths faster. It's a 9.98. Man, I'm smiling. I can't even talk. It's a 9.98. Enough for a sub 10. And here it is. By David H. He uses the booster on the start. But the crazy thing is, with this booster, remember how it only works to the left? It only works to the left if you place it like this. The thing is, if you try this out, like this, it doesn't work. Like I can place my car here. I just drive into the wall. It doesn't work. Like this doesn't work. How would this ever be fast? It doesn't work. It works in all three other directions. That's fantastic. It doesn't work in straight. That's beautiful. But yeah, this doesn't work. How does he do it? Well, he just taps the brake once and barely fits through, over the wood, through the triangle, and then also finds this wood into plastic bounce combination, full speed into the finish. Found basically the same strat as Jumper, however, with using the plastic here, does not have to slow down at all. Plastic bounce keeps 270 speed into the finish, and it is a 998. 989 by David right here. Really optimized. Of course, here at the start, because he is using the start block right here like this, he has to use the wood earlier. That way, he can't do a flat transition here. Because of that, he has to go super inside and do a small jump across. He had to really sacrifice a lot of blocks to use for the ending right here. Going over the platforms, going to the left right here, and then finding the same strat as we have seen from Jumper earlier. And then plastic bounce, wall ride, and also a wall hit into the finish. Now the start here, it is very scuffed doing it like this, having to go to the left, only getting a little bit of the booster. He only has the booster for half the block, and he also has to brake a little bit to not crash into anything. We have to compare this. Compared to Jumper that we saw earlier. We have to compare to Jumper once. If we compare it right here, immediately you will see David just zooping away so far ahead. However, Jumper now with more speed going through the triangle, has better blocks available, goes into here, then has to slow down a bit into the finish. That is the difference. That is the difference right there, going into the finish. So they're coming in. It is a little bit faster. Like all of this stuff having to do, placing the booster on the start, braking with a different strat, finding this ramp right here, all of that stuff amounts to a difference of what? 200-300s? 500s maybe? Insane. But it was enough, because without these few hundreds that David gained, would not have had a sub 10. He would not have had the sub 10. And then of course, the plastic bounce, gaining a bunch of time, better angle, better speed, not having to slow down. Amazing. However, once again, that was not enough. David is not the only one who got a sub 10. Because by just... This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. By just 4 thousandths of a second. A 0.989 versus a 0.985. Shorty managed to beat him out. Shorty with a 9.98 getting the sub 10. He has been joking about sub 10 the entire week, and he has had it since days already. He has been joking about it. Oh guys, imagine a sub 10. He has had the sub 10 all along. A 9.985 with just 4 thousandths beating him out. And this is a very, very familiar route right here. is the same route as Mimir has found, as Held has found, as Marius has found. Just a little bit more optimal. Going to the left here, not jumping, dropping down, just a really clean run as well, through the triangle, into the checkpoint, bounce, finish. The big difference from Shorty against Marius, if we take a look at this right here, is Marius jumping, not conserving his blocks at the start. From the booster here, he jumps a little bit. And that is over 0.2 of a second that cost Marius. It is 0.2 of a second that costs him. Then of course, Shorty has one block less, and because of that, Marius was able to cut the corner here, go a bit more inside, whereas Shorty had to go over the corner of the blocks to sacrifice or to maintain one block for the start here, but it was well worth it. 0.2 of a second faster like that. What an amazing run by Shorty. A 9.98. However, I would like to pull your attention to a screenshot that I took a few days ago. Shorty writing 4 days ago. Okay guys, I am saying it here first. I'll get second. I feel it. And if you also take a look at the car skin from Shorty as well, it was only enough for second place. Shorty getting second place. And the man who beat him by, again, only 0.04 of a second is Techie. With the exact same route, block for block. And 9.94 came up with the exact same optimal solution. And 9.94. Should have hunted more. Should have hunted more. So close. So close. 9.94. We have to watch the comparison between them immediately. Shorty versus Techie. We see the differences right here. Both starting on the same block, both finding the booster, same transition right here, dropping down. Shorty a little bit ahead, going to the last checkpoint, but now Techie with a more inside line, inside jump into the finish as well. Just barely squeezing out for 0.04 of a second. Beating out Shorty with this line. Incredibly close. Incredibly close. Drop, bouncing into the finish like that. GG to Techie. Techie with the first place from you guys. The thing is though, that is only the first part of the competition. That is the first part of the competition. Techie has won and the fastest, has driven the fastest time from you guys. But he has not faced all of his opponents yet. Because there's one more. I participate as well. I drive a time as well, just the same way you guys do. And you have to beat me as well. If you do not beat me, the prize pool moves on to the next month. If you beat me, if Techie, your fastest driver out of all of you guys, beats my time, he goes home with 100 euros. If he doesn't, the 100 euros goes to next month. And it will be 200 euros instead. And here's my run. Starting out, going a different route to the wood checkpoint first. Clean line onto the wood platform. And now go to the left, wood plastic bounce as well, wall ride finish. It looks fast. It looks like a fast run. It is very similar to what David H had earlier. Very similar. Going down here, and I also found this clean plastic bounce right here. With a different setup that gives me more speed than David. David only had 270 speed with his 0.98. I have 280 speed through the wall ride. And I would say, let us compare. Let me bring in Techie's run. And let us take a look. Who wins this? Who will win this right here? Starting out. I, of course, do not start on a booster. Techie immediately on a booster, starts earlier. However, with starting on the booster, he only gets half of the booster effect. I will get a lot more speed right here. Techie now goes into the first checkpoint already with 206 speed. Whereas I have 278 speed on this block here already. More speed. Then Techie goes into the checkpoint, hits it with 2.7 seconds on the clock, whereas I get the checkpoint with not starting on the booster at a 3.2. Now, moving along, I have more speed. I am going over wood, which maintains my speed a little bit better. Techie has to now drop down, has airtime, loses speed because of that, drops down onto the platform, hits the checkpoint at a 5.28 with 230 speed, whereas I already have reached the checkpoint with a 5.25 with 10 kilometers per hour faster. Now, right here, we will meet each other on the side of the road, crossing paths from both different sides along here. Now, I am a little bit ahead right here. I get the checkpoint at 6.7, whereas Techie only gets it at 7.1. However, now I will have to climb up to get the difficult plastic checkpoint. And the only blocks that I have available to do that is the wooden apple, plastic, and the wall ride. Techie, however, can stay on the same platform, on the same height right here, and drive over wood, which maintains his speed to the finish line. Going up to the checkpoints, we are both on the different sides. I'm a little bit closer to the last checkpoint right now. Going up to the checkpoint, hitting it now at 8.7. Techie gets into the last checkpoint on his side at an 8.8. Driving around, coming towards the finish line. Both of us coming towards the finish line right here. I am a little bit closer to the finish line. However, I still need to bounce off of the wall, whereas Techie can just jump from the left side. Going towards the finish line, I am just missing 1 meter right next to the finish line. Techie missing multiple meters still. However, he is just jumping into it. Who is going to take it? Who is going to take the win? I am bouncing now, going to the finish line. And who takes it? From both of us. We are just right next to the finish. And it is Techie. By 9 thousandths of a second. Techie had a 0.945. I had a 0.954. 9 thousandths of a second deciding it. And Techie going home with 100 euros. GG. Incredible. It was a total of 60 replays that you have sent in. 60 replays. Out of all of those submissions, only one beat my time. But that was enough. That was enough. GG to Techie. With 9 thousandths of a difference. Which is actually insane. Absolutely insane. Hope you enjoyed that, and also thanks all of you guys for sending in your replays. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. That was insane. Like how close it is with 2 different orders. It's so insane. It is so insane. Like completely different approaches. Completely different thought processes as well. It's just insane right here. Insane. So cool. So cool. Thank you all for coming in. I think this was a really fun one, to be honest. We will have another puzzle competition next month. So just starting in 2.5 weeks, the next puzzle competition will start. And I hope to see you guys participate there again as well. I will make it a little bit more difficult, I believe. A little bit more complicated. Because, in fact, the top 20 from all of you were within 1 second. The top 20. Alec Bees, if you remember, with his bug slide plastic bounce, was 20th place with a 0.95. Techie winning with a 9.94. 1 second faster. Basically exactly 1 second faster. It was top 20 within 1 second. For some comparisons, when I said Archidamus was not in the top 10, Archidamus in fact was 17th. Granadi, who could not find any better routes for his line, was 14th place. And someone like Alcon with his insane bug slide, 9th place in the end. Incredible stuff by everybody. Just really, really cool stuff. I will post the entire results in the Discord soon as well.